You've said as many as 600,000 Chinese students could come to the United States. Why, sir, is that a pro-MAGA position when so many American kids want to go to school and there are places not for them and these universities are getting rich off Chinese money?
Sure. Never said about China, but we do have a lot of people coming in from China. We always have, China and other countries. We also have a massive system of colleges and universities. And if we were to cut that in half, which perhaps makes some people happy, you would have half the colleges in the United States go out of business.
So what?
Well, I think that's a big deal. Look, I want to be able to get along with the world.
They're not the French. They're the Chinese. They spy on us. They steal our intellectual property.
What, do you think the French are better?
Yeah.
I mean, really? I don't know. I'll tell you, I'm not so sure. We've had a lot of problems with the French, where we get taxed very unfairly on our technology, where, they put 25% taxes on American products. Look, assuming everyone treats us badly, because that's the way I am, but we take in trillions of dollars from students. The students pay more than double when they come in from most foreign countries. I want to see our school system thrive, but at the same time, I know you and I disagree. We're never going to agree on it, but that's okay. And it's not that I want them, but I view it as a business. We have millions and millions of people. Also, I want to get along with countries if possible. People are shocked. Remember, Hillary Clinton said, we'll be in a war. I stopped 8 wars in the last 9 months. I don't want to be in wars. If I am in a war, we're going to win the thing fast, and it'll be violent. But you know what? I don't want to be in wars. But one thing, you don't want to cut half of the people, half of the students from all over the world that are coming into our country, destroy our entire university and college system. I don't want to do that.
I wouldn't lose any.
And don't forget, MAGA was my idea. MAGA was nobody else's idea. I know what MAGA wants better than anybody else.
So do y'all remember when Vivek Ramaswamy said the same exact thing? Right? Remember when Vivek said that, hey, America doesn't have any talent. Hey, Americans don't prioritize education and in particular higher education like STEM. Remember when Vivek said that and then MAGA told him to go back to India and make India great again? Listen, remember when Elon said that? Remember when Elon said that, hey, America just don't have enough talent. We need H1B1. And then MAGA tore him apart too. So now that the king is saying it, the king of MAGA is saying it, let's see what the MAGA-tars are gonna do. Let's see what they're gonna say this time around, because basically he's saying the same exact thing that Vivek said. He's saying the same exact thing that Elon has said. America simply just doesn't have enough talent. See, Trump has been walking around lying, trying to act like he's this super nationalist, when in reality, Trump is a liberal. I'm sorry, MAG-tards. Listen. Trump is just a moderate liberal. That's all that he is. Trump is not a true conservative. Trump is not a true nationalist. Just based on the things that he's been doing in the past months that he's been in office lets us know that he is not America first, that he is not really a nationalist like he claims to be. And we're going to break down the pros and cons to what he said, right? We're going to break down the good and bad, the truths and the false of what he said, right? So the truths are, right? The truths are that America doesn't have enough talent. Not for higher education, not for STEM, which for you idiots who don't know what STEM is, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, right? America just doesn't have enough talent, American talent, to get these jobs filled. That's just what it is, right? Americans don't prioritize education, right? If you ask the Gen Z, if you ask the generation below Gen Z, what do they want to be when they grow up? If you ask many of them what they want to be when they grow up, many of them will say they want to be influencers. What many of them will say is they want to be a YouTuber, they want to be an Instagrammer. The girls will say, the young girls say, I want to start me on OnlyFans when I turn 18, right? That's what they want to achieve to, right? In America, the bar is low. Right? The bar is low for real, philosophical thinking. The bar is low for real critical thinking skills in America. All the other countries, this is what they prioritize. They prioritize real education. They prioritize sending their kids to medical school. They prioritize getting the highest degrees that they can. They prioritize sending their kids to some of the best institutions in the world, which many of those institutions are in the United States. But here's where things go left for me, right? Which I've said plenty of times, right? Even though we don't have that talent, we can all admit that. Well, I can admit that because I pay attention, right? I can admit that, and you can clearly see that America just doesn't have the talent. And in fact, Ford just made a statement saying they don't have it. They don't have enough. They're short. I guess mechanical car engineers, car mechanics, right? And they're paying $120,000 a year. They're saying that they don't have the talent to fill those roles at Ford. They can't find enough American talent. Ford just said that, which is an American company. They don't have the talent. However, this is where things go left for me, right? We've sent billions of dollars to Israel, right? Billions of dollars to Israel. We've sent billions of dollars to Ukraine. We've just sent billions of dollars to Argentina, right? We're wasting money left and right, right? And then on top of that, we're saying that, oh, even though we tell you guys to go to school, right? And even though we really don't provide the infrastructure for you to really make money to pay these loans back, we want you to pay these loans back. We want you to pay these school loans back, these student loans back right away. Now, many people will say, oh, well, if you take out the loan, then you should be able to pay it back. Well, granted, but just check this out. Just listen for a minute, right? When there's a lack of education, when there's a lack of financial education in America, they don't teach the process of taking out a loan, right, for school in America. We're just told that, hey, take this out, then you'll be able to go to school and then get whatever degree you want to and come out and you'll be able to get a good job, right? That may have worked in the 70s and the 80s, but in the new system, it just doesn't work like that. There's no real education behind taking out student loans. There's no real education on what is your interest rate and how much you're going to owe over the lifetime of the loan, right? Why are we even giving children, right? Essentially, why are we even giving out loans to children in the first place who don't even understand what a loan is, right? Why are we doing that? Why? Because America's a capitalist state and it is made to tackle and take advantage of the least common denominator, which most Americans are the least common denominator, and they do stupid stuff with their finances and they don't have the knowledge or wisdom to do better with their money. Right. With that being said, right, we have spent countless billions of dollars sending it to other countries. Right. We've been giving it to immigrants, making sure they come over here and get successful. They're able to come over here and get loans. They're able to come over here and take advantage of our school systems, right? Both public and private, that we pay taxes for. Right. But then when you talk about getting Americans on par, which I've said many times, I believe that just how we send billions of dollars to Israel for no reason, right? We need to get rid of them. Just like we send billions of dollars to Argentina to bail them out for whatever reason. We don't even need Argentina, right? They have no connection with us whatsoever, right? We send billions of dollars to everybody else, right? But when it comes to the skilling of America, right? The reskilling of America, nobody wants to invest. Nobody wants to put the money up, right? Where you keep talking about, oh, we're going to bring this, we're going to bring jobs back to America. We're going to bring this factory. We're going to bring this company back to America. Well, America doesn't even have the talent, don't even have the skill sets to take part in so-called these jobs that you're supposed to be bringing back. Why isn't there a major push to reskill Americans? Right. This is my problem. And, you hear Trump saying that, well, we just don't have the talent. These are the most skilled people in the world. Oh, okay. Granted. Okay. They prioritize education. They prioritize real tangible skills. Granted. Why isn't the money being put into pushing Americans to the cream of the crop, to the top of the ladder? Why isn't that being done? Right. It makes no sense to me. Right. You collect all this tax money from us. The infrastructure is not being developed. Our systems, our processes, the government is not being developed. Where's all the money going? Where's all the tax money going? Right? Things get more expensive every year. You want to tax us every single year on bullshit, but we're not seeing where the tax money is going. Why isn't a large portion of this money going into the reskilling and the redevelopment of America in general? That's my biggest problem right there. Because everybody wants to say it's so funny coming from a president who wants to make America great again, but the only way that you're going to be able to make America great again is if you make Americans great again. And the only way that you can make Americans great again is if you give them something to live for. If you got to give Americans something to fight for, right? They have nothing to fight for. American men have nothing to fight for, right? Families are in shambles, right? Marriages is plummeting. Gen Z can't afford to have a woman, right? And if they do get a woman, they basically, getting another man that's going to run them into the ground, and they turn into the wives because they don't even have the money, the wherewithal, the jobs, the careers to even afford to get married, let alone children. It's a trickle-down effect. It's a trickle-down effect. However, you're okay with bringing in 600,000 Chinese nationals, right? 600,000, right? And then we're not even counting the Indians. We're not even counting the Indians. That's on a whole nother chart, right? The Indians, the Chinese, you want to bring them over here in mass, but then you don't want to reskill Americans. Listen, you know why they don't want to reskill Americans, right? Trump can holler that MAGA shit all he want to, but he is not making America great again, and he won't make America great again. He just exposed himself in this. I've been telling y'all this. He just exposed himself in this, right? Make America great again, my ass. He's been destroying America as far as I can see it. He's been pricing Americans out, and then on top of that, want to bring in more immigrants. Oh, I thought we were anti-immigrant, right? I thought we were anti-immigrant. Oh, no. We were just anti-low-skilled immigrant, aka the Mexicans, right? We were anti-skilled immigrants, right? We don't want the low-skilled immigrants. Anti-low-skilled immigrants. We don't want the low-skilled immigrants over here. No, send their ass back to Mexico. Send them back. We don't want the low-skilled immigrants. We don't want the construction workers. We don't need them. We don't need the low-skilled immigrants. We don't need the Mexicans. We don't need the Mexicanos. We don't need them. We don't need Abuela, and all them now. Send their ass back over the border, right? No, let's bring in the Chinese. Right? Then he went through that what was a hoax? The hoax was bringing in those South Africans. That was a hoax, the bringing in those white South Africans. That was a whole hoax. Right? We're going to bring in the white South Africans to work our farmland because they know what that was a whole bull crap propaganda, bro. Come on now. Right? While they sneaking in the Chinese over here, right? And then he spoke on the whole Georgia. Y'all remember what happened in Georgia, right? ICE had raided a car plant. I think, was it Koreans or was it Chinese? Something like that. They were of Asian descent, right? And they raided the whole thing, which they ended up finding out that they come over there and work the factories, right? Work the plants, and they're supposed to be teaching the Americans how to, basically skilling up the Americans to teach them how to do what they don't know how to do. But they ended up raiding that and sending them back to wherever they came from. I'm like, bro, then you don't have nobody to work it, right? Then you don't have nobody to teach the Americans how to do it. So this whole thing, see, America went wrong in the first place by relying. This is where America went wrong. America went wrong by relying on immigrant skills in the first place. That's just a fact. America went wrong by relying on immigrant skills in the first place. Yeah, how long did y'all think it was going to last before you get replaced? How long did you think it was going to last before they replace you in STEM and they also replace you on a lower skill bar? How long did you think it was going to last? See, Americans were okay with it as long as they were able to get what they needed out of the American dream. As long as you were able to buy your house, as long as you were able to raise your family in your suburban neighborhood, as long as you were able to afford the things that you needed to afford to be able to survive on a day-to-day basis, now everything is in shambles, and now everybody's scrambling and scraping, trying to figure things out. Oh, now it's the immigrants. It's been the immigrants. And for the black people, who are pro-immigrant, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're a goddamn gone idiot. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You are a goddamn idiot if you're black and of African American descent and you're pro-immigrant. Yeah, there's something wrong up top. And let me explain it. One, because our ancestors fought for civil rights. Right? Our ancestors did. Our ancestors fought for civil rights, not for, listen, civil rights may have been, some would say, well, we did this for all people, but I disagree. Civil rights were for black Americans, African Americans, just like birthright citizenship. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. Just like birthright citizenship was for descendants of slaves, right? Babies of slaves, to allow them to become American citizens. It wasn't created for immigrants and everybody else to come over here and take part in the system, just like civil rights. I believe that civil rights should be revoked for immigrants. I believe civil rights, the Civil Rights Act of 1965, I think that it should only be for black Americans, and we should remove everybody else from those brackets, and it should only stay as African Americans. That's just my opinion. Y'all went wrong when y'all allowed everybody, all people of color, women, LGBTQ. Y'all went wrong, right? You dang on Gen Xers, boomers, right? Whoever was a part of that movement back then, and continue the movement into the future, that's where y'all messed up at. By allowing immigrants to come over here and thinking that they better than us, thinking they about to come over here and just do this and do that and nah, buddy. If I lived back then, I would have ensured that civil rights had only been for black Americans. And when immigrants come over here, if they wanted to become citizens, if they wanted to take part and get quote unquote civil rights, they got to pay a tax. I've said this before in my live stream. Right? Either way, even if we, for instance, we say that civil rights is for everybody and immigrants and everybody, they have to come over here and pay a tax. You got to come over here and pay an immigrant tax, right? Because now you get to take part into something that wasn't even meant for you in the first place, the Civil Rights Act. You don't get to come over here and think you can do this and you can do that and just, oh, this is America. No, you had people before you, especially the Indians who want to come over here, especially everybody else, the Africans who want to come over here. Hell, Ukrainians, I don't care who it is, from white skin to black skin. Right, who want to come over here and take part of rights that they wouldn't have had otherwise if it wasn't for black Americans and their ancestry fighting for those civil rights. They should have been paying an immigrant tax, and that should have went into the building up of black America and the skilling up, right, the upskilling of black Americans and their environments and community, so on and so forth. Listen, come on now, I'll go on a whole tangent about this. Right, but y'all shouldn't have allowed it. Americans got too comfortable with allowing immigrants. Yeah, come on in. Right. First it was the Mexicans. Yeah, come on in. Then they let in a few Indians. Yeah, come on in. But now y'all ass again priced out of all jobs, white collar to blue collar. And now y'all scrambling and scraping. Well, it's too late. The infrastructure was already built upon it. So now what? Right? Well, we can reverse it only if we can get a president or politicians, right, from local all the way to the highest office to be truly America first, right? You're talking about bringing all the Chinese in and, yeah, America doesn't have the talent. Well, aren't these your people? Are these not your people? Give them, invest into the skills, invest into the education. Right? Invest into the institutions that prioritize Americans. You're talking about buying products, right, that are American and not buying products that are nobody else. That shit doesn't matter right now. That shit doesn't matter, right? Americans don't have the skills to be able to get the money to be able to pay the premium cost of what it costs to pay for American products. Come on now. And until we get Americans up the par, up the skills with Americans, right? Until that happens, until America until our infrastructure, our politicians, our local, the state to federal invest into the reskilling of Americans, this is how it's going to be. They're going to continue to bring in the immigrants. They're going to continue to bring in the Chinese, and they're going to continue to take all the high-skilled, high-paying jobs, even the low-skilled jobs that you ninjas don't want to work, right? They're just going to give it to the lower-skilled immigrants, the Mexicans. And that's just gonna be that. And you're gonna be left in the middle, 6'7". That's how, ninja. And that's an after bill. Like, comment, subscribe, sign up for the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, you can book your coaching call and become a member of this channel. Support the channel, support the message. The after pill is the future. PFP life, purpose, freedom, power. This is the new trend. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. I built a life. I built a family. I worked my hands raw to get here. And I'm not done. This is the escape blueprint. PFP life. A way out of the grind and into control. You'll learn how I stack cash, build systems, and reclaim time so you can live on your own terms. You will watch me maneuver and grind towards the life that I achieve for myself. And you can also do the same. Join the circle, join the Patreon, learn the steps, and protect your freedom. The Escape Blueprint, PFP Life.